Hello and welcome to Beat Me, a BattleCON educational tutorial as well as Let's Play video series. Hi, I'm Marco DeSantos, also known as Mechanic Critic, and I'm here to play some BattleCON online. Now you may be wondering what's so different about this specific Let's Play, or this specific series of BattleCON videos in general. Well, I played a bunch of BattleCON online games against some of the better players in the chat, and I lost, like, all of them. I mean all of them. That's not even an exaggeration. All of them. It made me realize I'm a bit rusty when it comes to BattleCON. And a lot of things have changed, so... there's Force Gauge, there's Dodge, and there's a lot of these new characters that I don't know. So it kind of feels like BattleCON's new again for me. So it means that I now have the opportunity to learn again. And of course it's gonna feel bad to lose a lot, but learning is the important part here. So I think documenting this series, or documenting my process of learning and understanding these new characters, these new rule sets, and these new cards will be very useful, not just for me in the future, but for everybody who wants to get better at the game. I'm not saying that I'm the best teacher, I'm not saying that I'm the best player in the world. In fact, I highly doubt I'm the best player you'll ever see. But if my process can help you learn, that's what's important. So I've been playing a lot of Riflam, and I'm not good at him. I think in like 10 games I've won once or something, okay? So that's not good, but it's not to say that I shouldn't play him anymore. I need to learn, and I need to improve how I play him. So I'm gonna enter quick match and hopefully find an opponent. And with that in mind, I'm gonna start talking about my plan, my moves, what opponent things I'm thinking about, what opponent strategies, what things I'm trying to counter, all that kind of stuff.
This is the path chosen, and so be it. What is it that you see?
Well, I guess we have the Riflam mirror match here with Bertez. So now we have custom discards. So from my experience, Grasp is Riflam's worst base, and Substantial is Riflam's worst style. So those go in there immediately. Switch. The thing about Riflam beat 1, so I'm against a Riflam opponent. The thing about Riflam is I don't think you really want to burst ever. Yeah, I don't think you want to burst ever, because bursting means that you're put far away. Riflam has really bad hit confirm. None of his styles have a lot of range. Like, I think he has range plus 0 to 1 on 2 styles. That's not good enough. I think we might just special burst. So this switch special action is very important because it changes the... Oh, wait, right, I have Ventures. Let's just do that. All right. So the switch special action is very important here because it means now that both players start with 4 styles in their hand. And that's a bit problematic. Okay, so my opponent did something similar. Notice how he has special, switch grasp and substantial strike. So in fact, the only thing that's different are the bases that we decided to put. So Riflam has a few opening moves that he can choose from. And it really depends on how you want to play. You can actually open with an install and possibly upgrade it. So Riflam's big thing is that install is a base that just continuously gets better and better. Riflam's abilities all allow him to modify and upgrade his bases. So Alchemic allows you to increase its priority, Transformative allows you to increase power, so on and so forth. Install doubles those bonuses, so it gets even better and even faster as you go. If my opponent does a burst, so my opponent will either play drive or burst. That's what I'm worried about. He can play install or shot, but those aren't the things I'm worried about. I can just do a residual strike. Okay, let's start off with residual shot. This one is technically a safe attack pair to do, mostly because this doesn't actually require me to anti any of my reagents on top to make it work. However, oh, he's my opponent has chosen as well. Oh, if you didn't notice, he's running a costume, so he looks way better than I do. So it seems like we're both running the same optimal quote-unquote play set. I do hope... So this move technically doesn't get countered by anything because he isn't running strike. So this is why I chose this move. My big problem is that sometimes playing quote-unquote optimal moves isn't the best way to play the game because sometimes your opponent will read you and you get clashed. Riflam getting clashed is the most horrible thing you'll ever experience. So it's not good. So the Catchphrase Refinement, which gives your base +2 stun guard, is really good because Shot will turn into a stun guard 4 attack by default. So I can start doing switch shots eventually. My opponent didn't anti any reagents, which may clue us into what he's trying to do. Bertez may be... Oh, he's not doing any reagents. So he's probably doing residual shot as well. This will result in a clash. Nope, he did experimental burst. I see. Interesting.
Away.
This doesn't stun him though, so this is a pretty good beat for him. Well, it's a pretty good beat for me. So this is what it turns out. He ends up trading with me evenly.
Stop me.
Riflam's biggest weakness is the fact that he really is bad during the first few beats of the game. But if you're both Riflam, I guess it doesn't matter. So he's up a reagent on me, but the reagent that got lost, quote-unquote, isn't really that important. So he has access to alchemic drive. I think I'm gonna start open up with alchemic drive because the other move I can play is experimental install. He can also play experimental install, and that will be dangerous. But what if I just stun him out and do transformative strike? You know what? I'm gonna read that he's gonna do alchemical drive. So I'm gonna transformative strike. Now this might seem silly, right? Like, oh Marco, you're not gonna hit if he does alchemical because alchemical lets you retreat 2 after activating. Riflam does have a range reagent. That's weird. I was faster last beat. Why is he anti-ing first? Anyway, again, this game is still an alpha/beta. Well, no, straight up, it's an alpha. So not everything's gonna work 100% correctly, but it's like 90% there. So he passed. If I pass, it might actually be good if I just pass. Because it doesn't give him the chance.
I have to decide.
Now let's do this. I don't think any of his plays can actually quote-unquote beat mine unless, of course, he clashes it. And, you know, if you're Riflam, that's really easy to happen. All of Riflam's styles that aren't these two, that aren't residual or substantial, all of them are priority +0. So it kind of gets real bad.
Sharpening.
Oh, he's anti-ing more power on top. Can he break my guard? We have the same set of moves. Oh, is it substantial? No, even then. The most amount of damage he can deal is... So I can pass on that. It's probably the drive. It's probably the alchemic drive. Yep, it's the alchemic drive. So we're gonna trade quote-unquote evenly.
Let's begin.
So he's gonna hit me for 4, I'm gonna hit him for 4. So he can choose to retreat. And again, you could say, Marco, why didn't you burst? Again, because I hard read the alchemic drive, and alchemic allows you to retreat. So you could just retreat out of the range of my attack and make it not hit.
Insufficient.
So now we both have grasp in our hands. What I'm gonna do is pretty, quote-unquote silly, but I'm actually reading that he'll dodge. So I'll do alchemic drives this beat. This way, I'm able to garner some of that extra priority. I mean, he could do the same move to me. He could do transformative strike, and it would absolutely wreck me. Well, absolutely. We would quote-unquote evenly trade. But yeah, there's no way he's going fast this beat. If he antis priority here, I will anti-priority as well. No, it's range. Okay, so it's the same set of moves. I'll counter anti with power. So as Riflam, you want to upgrade your bases as much as possible, right? And that's what I'm doing. I'm upgrading my my drive so that it becomes a 1-4-4. And that's pretty powerful. Usually you'd want to start upgrading install, because install...
Resilience.
So maybe the move is not what I thought it was. Okay, now I can actually use... No, he's using stun guard, so he's probably slow. Extra power.
Sharpening.
Is this like substantial shot? If it's substantial shot, we clash, and I will miss, I think. I doubt it's substantial shot, though. I mean, I could spend that extra 2 force, but that 2 force advantage matters a lot. So I'll pass this turn. So I'm guessing he played transformative strike as well. No, he played residual install. Interesting. I think I stunned this out. So I'll advance 2 spaces and hit him for 5. That stuns him. He won't get the doubling of his install, which is really good.
Let's begin.
Boom! Get stunned, Riflam. So now I can choose to retreat. I can retreat 2 spaces. Now it's probably better to just take center control.
I have to decide.
Yeah, that's better. Take it. So now my drive is pretty powerful now. It's a 1-4-4.
Away.
Taking center space. Okay. I can again play residual shot. Or I can just play a naked shot. But playing a residual shot is usually better. Ooh, I can install. But he has burst. So what am I thinking he'll play? He'll probably dodge. If that's the case, should I just switch Grasp? He currently has Experimental, Substantial, and Transformative. You can't Substantial Dodge. So his priority is either going to be a 3 or a 1. I can switch shot and clash? No, I don't want to do that.
What should I choose?
Let's just play Residual Shot.
This could be.
You know, if this were regular BattleCon, I'd actually spend a lot more time thinking about my moves, but... Excuse me. I'd actually spend a lot more time thinking about my moves, but you have such little time in this game. I'll anti-priority during this one beat where he won't have priority.
Reducing density.
So this is useful. This brings me up to beat strikes. Well, not beat, but, you know, I won't get stunned out by his transformative strike. Oh, now he gains 2 guard. Okay. I'll pass. Oh no, I would have won against a transformative strike anyway. See, it's small plays like that that can change the entire course of a game. Oh, but he does the switch burst.
Away.
Yep, I'm definitely dealing 4 damage. So he did well. His burst has actually increased guard.
Work on your form.
So my opponent's gonna dodge next turn. Let's just face that. But what kind of dodge is he gonna play? Now that's the important question here. So he can't, his finisher is Grand Arcanum, he can't use that. Is he gonna switch to Arcane Inspiration? We'll see. So the plan is to do Experimental Strike next beat. Does he have Experimental? Yes, he does. So he doesn't have Switch. He has Alchemic, Substantial, and Transformative. And Experimental. So his prior spread is either 0, 0, +2, or -2. I will Experimental Dodge because there's 2 reasons why. Number 1, because I think he's gonna Experimental Dodge. Because if he does Alchemic Dodge or Transformative Dodge in like the next beat, that's fine. Because he loses out on those 2 really good styles and has to keep Experimental in his hand, which is not good if you're on 4 HP left. This gets rid of Experimental for me, and has the added benefit of clashing him. So if I read him right, my Experimental Dodge will be able to
This should do.
clash into Experimental Strike. Of course, he can also clash Experimental Strike, but, you know, this is that, this isn't that. We'll just see what he does. I'm probably gonna match his priority antis. Oh, he passes. So I'll pass too. So this is probably the dodge. Or not. So he can drive to... So I have to retreat to not get hit.
Away.
So he's upgraded his drive as well. This is really odd. Neither of our installs are good. His install is just a 1-2-2-2. My install is a 1-2-2. So my opponent will have to drive once or drive twice. Of course, he's gonna advance one.
Let's begin. Shatter. Let's begin.
So I'm forced to advance one. This is good. He doesn't have burst. And he can't hit me with Grand Arcanum. Having life advantage is really important in this game. So he has no burst. And I can kill him. The question is, can he clash me? Yes, he can. So if Transformative gets clashed, I think I have no... Oh, wait, I can just revert to strike. Okay, Transformative Drive is gonna be the play. Or rather, Alchemic Drive. Why not just switch Drive? Why not just switch Drive? Oh, because I want my bases to be better, right? So we'll Alchemic Drive this turn. If we get clashed, we switch to... No, we don't switch to strike. So it has to be Transformative Drive. Okay, if he dodges this turn, that's fine, because I can Residual Strike next turn. And that almost guarantees the kill. So he has to anti first, which makes sense. He was faster last beat. So he passes. I will pass as well. This likely means that he's dodging. Yep. So he has to switch sides with me. And my shot is insane, by the way. It's now 5 damage. Actually, I can just switch shot next beat, and I think I'll win.
Let's begin.
Does Grand Arcanum stun on hit? Nope. Okay, so now I have to corner myself.
Away.
Now, this might not seem good, but it's fine. My opponent doesn't actually have anything that will beat this, I think. Can he get to 2 priority? Yes, he can. But that means he has to do... Okay, Residual... Okay, that's fine. Residual Strike turns into Residual Shot. Start off with Residual Shot, and then turns into Residual Strike. Yes. Alright.
This should do.
Yeah, this should do. My opponent's drive is in his hand, right? So this should work.
Reducing density.
Oh, he's going fast. Is this the install? I'll anti-priority. So one thing about Force Gauge that I'm starting to learn is that when your opponent antis priority, you should probably anti-priority as well. Unless you have like the mega hard read and you know that them antiing priority prevents the clash from happening, but I'm not that good. I don't have that big of a read on Bertez, so we'll see what he does. This anti-phase, the force gauge actually gives us a lot of things to do during the anti-phase, so it can get pretty interesting. I'm not sure what Bertez is planning to play this beat, but he has to find a way to beat both Residual Shot and Residual Strike. Since he passed, I will pass as well. Again, it's entirely possible that I still miss and die this beat. Oh, he did his finisher, the Grand Arcanum! That's awesome. He regains all of his reagents.
Far better if these systems remained lost.
Wait, why did I get stunned? Why did I get stunned? Oh, it ignores stun guard. Right. That's a good play by him. Like a really good play. Does he have a way out of this? Right, all of his bases are now supercharged.
Answer is so close, yes. Let's try this.
I wonder what he'll do. Strongest damage is strike, substantial strike, right?
Reducing density.
He's doing priority. No, he can do substantial install, I think. Well, if he does prio, you do prio.
Reducing density.
So can he kill me? Is the question. I'll pass as well. We'll see how this beat turns out. Oh, and there's a substantial burst. I think this wins me the game. He'll deal 4. I have stun guard 8.
Away. Ah!
I have enough to face tank it.
Let's begin.
So it seems that Grand Arcanum is bugged,
That won't be
because his base should have had +2 power.
calculations were correct.
But that was a great game. I made a few mistakes here and there. I think my big mistake was that forgetting to consider my opponent's finisher was a very, very big mistake, especially for a finisher that basically won him the beat. That was the one move he could have done to win that beat, and I didn't see it. So something like that is very important, because not considering all of your opponent's options can be pretty tough, especially if you don't consider them, and then they end up destroying your game. So that has been this episode of this Let's Play, and I'm really glad that all of you have been here with me. If you guys like this video, if you guys think BattleCON Online is very interesting and you find it to be awesome, please check the description out below to, you know, find out more about the game, find out more about Level 99 Games and all of our other amazing, amazing products. And that pretty much concludes this video, and sadly, they didn't beat me. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.